Thank you, thank you all for joining. Thank you. This is your host, Fritz Misodi. Today we're going to talk about the Nera 10 The United Nations Working Group has a verdict on the Nera 10, and all of them were asked to be sent back to Nigeria with, within the next 6 months. We all know La Republic has never respected international laws. They have never respected international policy. They have never respected international boundary because leaving your own country and coming to attack another country that has been with you on a kind of equal status, federation, I can say, that was destroyed. The federation that was destroyed in 1972. You call those people secessionists. How can you secede from some people and you call them secessionists when you secede from them? Okay. So when we are talking about this, people have to understand the history of how we got here. People have to understand how we got here. Okay. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna also talk about this guy called Moja Moja. Moja Moja is the guy that has been terrorizing the whole of Fako. La Republic is sponsoring this guy who is a B, and he also called himself a chief of I don't know the village where he's a chief. But when you see his videos are only to intimidate the localities, only to cause harm to them. Some he will torture them. Some he has, he will send them to jail. He has all the powers, all the authority to do whatever he can. That is the way the republic works. We all remember Mayor Ekema. The republic used him for so long. He did a lot of atrocities, committed all kinds of crimes against the people of Boya. The La Republic always uses you when he needs you most. La Republic does not use you when he does not need you. He uses you for some time and trash you out. That's how he uses most of our people, even the ones there in Yaoundé. See most of them, former ministers, those ones that were staunch CPJ supporters. What do they do in Yaoundé? Nothing. They're just there hanging out. Just they become errand boys, eating crumbs. Okay, let's see what is going on when it comes to issues that just happened of recent. The bishops, the men of clergy that were they were arrested, as we hear, have been released, and we are very grateful for those who released them because we don't want people asking ransom for anything because that tarnishes the image of the struggle. We have a struggle to defend our people. That is the number one goal of the struggle. The struggle is to give freedom to our people. So we cannot be using it for money making, for harassing the people, for torturing the people. What Moja Moja is doing to the people. Okay, let me show you what Moja Moja is. His own militia. He has his own militia gang.
I say now we palace this. We stand for how many Cameroon?
One.
How much they say they find more than no be so?
So.
We go Kumba they no run.
They run.
We go Lisoka they no run.
They run.
We go Mayuka they no run.
They run.
For here now we palace.
Amoja.
Show am for here now my palace is they no know am.
They know.
They fit come here.
No.
If they come, what I will do them? No be na so.
So.
When they come, I do the whole thing. Na so na. With this.
So as you can see, this is his own gang. He has his own militia. He has recruited them, then going around harassing people, collecting money, and all those kind of, you know. That, when we condemn this kind of behavior, La Republic is authorizing it because you cannot take right into your hands. Going around, look at what he's doing, rifle, you know. If it was some person that La Republic does not authorize, he would have been arrested by now because La Republic does not allow you to go around with a weapon of this matter. This is not a weapon to be using around the quarter. Okay, this is weapon of mass destruction. You cannot use it around the quarter and terrorize people. That's what Moja Moja is doing. Okay. Easter Chiroma is no more. Bakari Tueu. This is the guy that started this fight. When they killed our people in 2016 and 2017, he said, "Who told you that? How can you say that?" That's his favorite quote. They will kill our people, kill our people. This guy will say, how can you say that? He was the staunch communication minister of Bia, sitting beside Bia like this. But today, he's gone. He died in Paris, in France. They always go and treat themselves in Paris. They don't use the hospital that they cannot build in their own country. They always go to Paris. Moi, je vais à Paris. Hein. Je vais à Paris. The hospital that they have in their own country, they cannot use it. And that is why most of them are in the hands of France. They can die at any time because when you don't have your own hospital, basic hospital, that is why we say these people are the only hindrance to the progress of their own country. Let me just give you one example. The case of uh, dual nationality, for example. Okay, what is wrong with these people not allowing doctors, Cameroon doctors, people who studied abroad, to come and to have dual nationality? People who want to come and invest, foreign direct investment of Cameroonians. You have Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians who want to come back home, and sometimes they say, "Oh, because we studied abroad, we can come back home. We can go home and say, okay." But since the start of the 90s, the policy of dual nationality came in. That policy has not changed to date. How can you be proud to say you are coming from a country where they don't allow you to even identify yourself? If you take a foreign nationality, they will not allow you to have the other nationality. Eh? So what kind of support do you? Then I hear there is a commission of diaspora. What kind of diaspora do you want to have when you don't even allow the diasporans to have a nationality? Eh? Why do you put that policy first of all? The policy of dual nationality. That policy is just another means of blocking those people who are abroad, medical doctors, engineers, people who have studied, doctors, those people who can come and help your own country. You don't give them dual. You say they have a foreign nationality. They cannot give them your own Cameroon nationality. That is how dull. Then you are sick. You go now to France and be looking for doctors. In America, yeah, we have heard so many stories. Most of these guys, when they come here in America, they are surprised that the doctors are either Cameroonians or Southern Cameroonians. They are surprised. When they go to hospital, they'll see doctors, Kenyans, Cameroonians. You'll see Next to them is a Southern Cameroonian who's a doctor. But you are the same people who are not welcoming them when they want to come back home, invest, open hospitals, clinics, that you can treat yourself when you are sick. What difference is it between the doctors in Paris and the Cameroon doctors, the La Republique doctors, or Southern Cameroon doctors who are still in Paris, who can come back home, that you can treat yourself? It baffles me. People like this dying so young, die at this kind of age, when you leave so many children behind. But it's because of the greed. It's the system. It's greed. You don't care about the future. Now you passed away. But you were happy when Southern Cameroonians were being killed. You support the regime, but where are you today? It's a pity, but that's what most of them are going through. I just wonder, most of these people who are propagating this war should stay long and see Ambazonia be free. That's my prayers. I don't want them to die. I don't want them to die. These are the people that have been
the freedom
released.
fighters of Ambazonia for releasing us without any ransom paid and for their hospitality. Thank you very much. We want to thank the freedom fighters of Ambazonia for releasing us without any ransom paid.
So these are the clergymen of the Mamfe diocese that have been released. We are very grateful because, kidnapping is not what we should arrest of any form, be it of any clergy, men of God. This struggle, when they say this struggle is ordained by God, we believe in that because we know the men of God are praying for us. That is how we know, because if it's ordained by God, it means men of God are with us. So we cannot go behind arresting men of God or torturing men of God or do whatever. I'm very grateful they have been released. We don't know where they were. We don't know who arrested them. We don't know. But it is very good that they have been released. And
the freedom fighters of Ambazonia for releasing us without any ransom paid and for their hospitality. Thank you very much. We want
yes,
Sisiko
this
is
is
one
what
of
President Chris
those
said.
who should be one of the parties sitting on that table. You cannot say you are discussing peace and justice and you have some of the leaders locked up behind bars. You are talking peace outside. We will not be. We are saying if the conditions change and Sisiko and the rest are released from prison, we will be there. And please do not say that is a precondition. It is not a precondition. And the rest are released from prison, we will be there. So we are saying if the conditions change and Sisiko and the rest are released from prison, we will be there. And please do not say that is a precondition. It is not a precondition. Sisiko is one of those who should be one of the parties sitting on, be there. And please do not say that is a precondition. It is not a precondition. Sisiko is one of those who should be one of the parties sitting on that table. Sisiko.
Yeah. So it is good to reiterate here because when the president ran for office, he specified, he reiterated his stance for collaboration and unity and everything, because that is what makes us democratic. When we tolerate each other, when we embrace each other, we are brothers. No matter our difference in opinion, our difference of approach, it doesn't make us different. We are Ambazonians. And when the president approached that kind of direction. It was very impressive. He has had meetings with all the leaders, all the frontline leaders. He has talked to them on the phone. He has even had meetings with them. That is what we want. We are building a country and we must learn to tolerate. Because no matter what, we will still meet each other one way or the other. Maybe in heaven, if not Boya. So the president on that fact, and that is very good because when you learn to tolerate each other, it's very good for a very smooth and transparent democracy. When you learn that these people can make some mistake, you can make a mistake or two. You apologize and move on. Okay, that is what makes a true democracy. A true democracy is not about you getting mad and you don't speak to each other, you condemn each other, you blackmail, you use all kinds of stuff to blackmail each other. It doesn't work like that. Eh? These are the Nera10. They're lamenting in the house in the dungeons of La Republique. The La Republique is calling for dialogue or whatever they call it. Then you are still having more than how many thousands of our people lamenting and languishing in the dungeons of La Republique. Then you say, "You let's go and dialogue." Dialogue how? These are our first leadership that was arrested. All of them like this were rounded up in Nigeria. And the United Nations has passed an injunction. They were following this matter gradually, and finally, it came out that La Republique and Nigerian government were wrong to arrest these people. Very wrong. There were no extraditing international warrant of arrest. There was nothing. They just whisked them illegally. No crimes, no judgment, no trial, nothing, nothing. So I'm very grateful that the international community came in and has really passed a judgment. The United Nations, not any other organization, that is the United Nations uh, Office for Discrimination and Human Rights and Illegal Arrests in Geneva. The office is in Geneva. That is what they came out with, and they said these people should be released. And you know, we all know La Republique does not respect international thing. And because of France, the backing of France, La Republique take a lot of these international laws for granted. He he knows that whatever happens, France will come and back them. Of course, you know France runs La Republique. France run the country. Eh? Who is controlling the railway? Bolloré. Who is controlling the airport? Bolloré. Who is controlling the seaport? Bolloré. French companies. Total, French company. Razé, French company. Sosukam, French company. Simencam, French company. What else can you tell me about the French company? Everything is French. So when you see us want to get out of this rubbish, it's total chaos. We have had enough for the past years. So those people who think that they have not had enough, we have had enough. Our own has flopped the cup. We are full now. It's time for us to leave. Yes. We're tired. Okay? We're tired. When we talk of true democracy, it is what we want to build. We cannot be running from La Republique and still doing the same thing that La Republique is doing. When we have institutions and democratic elections, is to tell the world that Ambazonians are ready for true democracy. Because that is the hallmark of a true democracy. A transparent and free and fair election with smooth transition from one president to another. If you cannot do that, then you are not ready for any country. You cannot ready. You are not ready for democracy. When you do what it takes to move one country to another or one president to another smoothly in a free and fair, transparent election, that is what people want to see. And we cannot be building a nation, then we are not setting the pace. People will be afraid to come and support you to say, these people are divided. These people cannot even run election. These people cannot even have simple transition. So people who are very blind, they don't know. They are following the individuals. They don't follow constitution. I, for one, I follow constitution and the institutions because I know that is what makes a country. A country is not about individuals. Okay, here in America, we saw democracy. We saw what President Trump did. Right, he had millions and millions of supporters. But when it comes to democracy, the institutions are there. You can go up, come down, you can scream, you can shout. That's your problem. But the institution remains. And when we want to implement that kind of thing, they call us, they say the black leg, the kingmakers, the cult, they'll call you all kinds of names. But if that is what makes a true democracy, yes, we want to implement our institution. We want that. That is what makes a true democracy. A true democracy is not to love somebody or to like somebody. We don't like nobody. Okay? If democracy means liking somebody, that's not democracy. Okay? Democracy is not about, why do you hate this person or why? No. It's just like when you go to court, right? You have the accused and the accuser. You have it's about judgment. The judge will not like or love anybody. They'll be following the laws. You bring the evidence, this one bring his, this one bring his. The judgment passes. It's the same thing with normal presidential elections. There's nothing about love. Nobody love anybody here. Or some people say, these people hate Marianta. Or these people hate Sako. Why? Why nobody hate anybody? We were trying to make something that is just for the people. Because that's what we're going to do. Or our children going to do when we are no more there. We are trying to follow what the Fonchas, the Endelis, they did. They had a smooth transition. If Endeli was the first prime minister, he handed it smoothly to Foncha. If Endeli refused to leave office and said, he's not giving it to Foncha, then there would have been two prime ministers, right? At the same time. But democracy entails a smooth transition of power. You cannot be arguing the institutions. Okay? When you argue the institutions, it means you are the wrong person because you are arguing what is there and what you accepted to respect. The Restoration Council is the body that is there to see the smooth transition of government. It's very normal. Every country has parliament that are the ones that pass. They are lawmakers. They are lawmakers. You cannot do without lawmakers. In America, you see President Trump came, he said, they rigged the election. He sent his vote to go. They told him no. They would finalize the election. The election was smooth, free and fair. They went there to the Senate to try to bring riot. They tried to protest, all that. They told them no. Today, all those people are under trial. Okay? All those people are facing trial today. You hear they have even subpoenaed Trump to come and answer some questions. That's democracy. Nobody cares whether you are the former president or you are this. Okay? When you are called by the council that elected you, the Senate and the and the House of Reps in America is the one that approve elections. If they don't approve the election, you will not become president. But when you become president now, you want to topple them. You want to overpower them. The people that put you in power. I don't understand. See, let's watch Sako. Okay, he came to office. He was installed by this same Restoration Council. When he came to power, he starts saying, "Oh, he will not respect them. He will not run for election. He will go and form his own government." That is what he's doing now. He went against the rules, the laws of the Restoration Council. The same Restoration Council that installed him and gave him 2-year mandate. Listen to this.
Advancement of responsible democracy in Ambazonia.
And to this end,
and
without compulsion, respect the will of the people of Ambazonia, expressing freely, fair and safe democratic elections, and willingly hand over the office of President of the Republic to the person duly elected by the people of Ambazonia. So help me God. Congratulations. So, fellow Southern Cameroonians, this is history in the making. And
that's the chairman of the Restoration Council, Elvis Kometa. He's the one that has inaugurated all the presidents. He installed Senseko Ayuk, he installed Sako, he installed Iya Marianta, and he now installed Secretary Chris. So when some of you saying that, oh, they don't know, there are 4 IG, there are 4, no. You cannot disrespect the institution. You go and create your own government. Then people saying that is a government. It's illegal government. We don't like talking about this, but sometimes when we hear what people say and what people are making some innuendos, trying to confuse the people, okay? You have Elvis Kometa, that's him there installing Sako. He told Sako, that is the Restoration Council chairman who installs all the presidents. The Restoration Council is like our own parliament. It's a parliament made up of different members. When they install you, they give you a mandate. They'll tell you, okay, it's 2 years. Okay, after that 2 years, you can run for office. But Sako did not run for office. He refused to run for office. He went and created his own parliament. That's what he did. So people should not mistake this. Okay? He went and created his own government and disrespected the Restoration Council. So if people want to say there are 3 IGs, 4 IGs, please explain to them what is and what was and what is to be. Okay? We have a government, we have institutions that we have to respect. If you want to go to Boya tomorrow, then they put someone a president, then we have a house of chiefs, we have a parliament. Then when they install that person, or then the person refused to leave office, is that what you are practicing? It is very treasonous to do this. That is why even in America today, they are still trying President Trump for doing that, trying to say the election was fraud. But Sarkozy was really bad because he refused to even go for election. Because there were some allegations about him, he refused to go answer questions. He refused. And now he went and created a name to the people who are instead the legitimate people. He said they are coup plotters. Who is a coup plotter? People who are following institutions. You know, so that's the opposite of, when you instead go and create your own government, your own institution, out of the regular institution. Who is the coup and who is the plotter? Eh? When you did not respect this same institution that installed you, elected you, they elected you and they give you a 2-year mandate. Listen to this. They elected him, they give him 2-year mandate. That is his hand up like that. Another hand is on the Bible.
Over the office
Hand
of
like
the
that.
President
One
of
is
the
on the
Republic
Bible.
And willingly hand over the office of the President of the Republic
to the person duly elected by the people of Ambazonia.
to the person duly elected by the people of Ambazonia.
So help me God.
So help me God. Congratulations.
So, fellow Southern Cameroonians, this is history in the making. And in front of us today, the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia has a mandate. He has a 2-year mandate. After these 2 years, the Restoration Council will meet again and they will tell us.
I hope we are listening here. That's the chairman telling Sako that you stay there for 2 years, then it will be renewable. Okay? That's the chairman telling Sako. Sometimes people say, oh, people will just keep saying innuendos, but they don't understand. This is the chairman. This is the same chairman that has installed all the president. So who is illegitimate now? The same person that installs the Seko is the same this chairman commentator who is installing Sako is this same chairman who installed Iya Marianta and is same this chairman who installed President Chris Ano. Now, who is the legitimate or illegitimate government now? Because when you go beyond the country's policy, you call the other people coup plotters. Eh? Listen to Iya Marianta.
To bring justice to all.
To bring justice to all.
And to ensure equitable redistribution.
And to ensure
Equitable redistribution.
and to ensure equitable distribution
Of the country's wealth.
of the country's wealth
And resources.
and resources
To the benefit of all the people of Amazonia.
for the benefit of all the people of Amazonia.
That I will not allow.
That is the same chairman commentator that installs Sako. So we should get it right. The same chairman commentator that installs Sako, that installs Seko, is he now that is installing Iya Marianta. Okay? And it's also he that installed President Chris Ano. So when people say there are many IG, there are many leaders, no. These people just refuse. They just say they continue to be IG when their term of office is over. Simple as that. They are just creating chaos. Because when you don't respect the institution, that's what happened. You go and start going against the constitution, go against the institution that install you to power. And that is what people don't understand. And they'll be saying, oh, there are 3 IGs, there are 4 IGs, there are these IGs. No. Okay? It's just because of disrespect. It's just because of dishonor. You know, it's not honorable for you to know that you cannot lead. You cannot be a leader, or you are no more a leader, but you still cling there to power. Why are you accusing Biaden for being in power for 40 years or more when you are doing the same thing? Okay? Because in every country, a president should be in office just 2 terms. Okay? You must go in for election, you must run for election, you must take part in the democratic process. Iya Marianta was asked, first of all, she was asked to be for 6 months. The Restoration Council saw that they can changed the constitution for her to run for office. But initially, she wasn't allowed to run. I just want to say this because people should understand what happened. Initially, Iya Maranta was not allowed to run for office. She had just 6 month mandate. After 6 months, they were supposed to be conducting an election. But she campaigned for that election. Then she had some certain complaints. I'll just give two of those complaints that she gave to the Electoral Commission. She complained that Secretary Chris has a case in the court with Sako. But what is this case talking about? This case is about accounts that were supposed to be handed from Sako to Iya Marianta. But how could you, Marianta, go and complain to the Constitutional Council that Secretary Chris should not run for office because she has Secretary Chris has a case? Isn't that controversial? I don't think that complaint is legitimate because Secretary Chris is your communication secretary and he is defending your interests. But during election, Iya Maranta, the first complaint that she gave was that Secretary Chris is not qualified. That Secretary Chris has a court case. Then when they want to go and check the court case, it's not a civil case. It's a political case. That Sako and that people they complain that that they want them to hand the account to Iya Marianta. So how do you put those two together? It doesn't go, right? Another complaint that Iya Marianta gave for not going into the election, that's a complaint, was that Secretary Chris did not pay his CID for maybe last year or what year he said the CID was not paid, which was false. Okay. The worst thing that they did was to send some of his people to go to the account of the CID and remove list of people that are paying. That thing is against the law because there are people that are paying CID and they don't want their name to be out. Of course, everybody has his own reason. Maybe your job or maybe what you're doing. You cannot go to an account, remove list of people that are paying their CID and put it out there. So some of them they were being forged, some of them were not correct. There's a lot of controversy there. But those are the complaints that made Iya Marianta not to run for election. I think these are not really something that can make you as a president. Campaigning already, you have your campaign team. They are only focusing on Secretary Chris. Secretary Chris should not run. Secretary Chris. Another complaint, let me put it. Another complaint was that Secretary Chris is not correct to be president, that he is okay to be the communication secretary. As if, who put that law? Is there any law that somebody who is a communication secretary should not run for office? I don't know, but that's a complaint they gave. But I want to make this because it is so disheartening for us to have dishonored people, okay? When you are given the opportunity to be president or the opportunity, this kind of opportunity, it's a lifetime opportunity. And if you misuse that trust, I believe in what the white people are doing. I believe the white man can give you trust. But the one thing that you do is to lose that trust. Once a white man, if you lost that trust, the white man will never trust you. That's how they are. For that one, I like them because when you are working in a company, they'll like you, you work hard, you do this hard, But when they discover you doing something wrong, that's it. That is where they lost trust. If you are given an opportunity, take that opportunity as a golden opportunity. Because you think that it's a right. It's not a right. It's an opportunity that they gave you. You don't know why they gave you that opportunity. Okay?
A book is being written about the Prime Minister's time in office. Apparently, it's going to be out by Christmas.
Liz Truss, this is the Prime Minister who ran for office for 44 days. He was in office for 44 days. Why? Because of this kind of thing that you are forcing yourself to do things that you cannot do. Okay? It's not everybody that can be Prime Minister. It's not everybody that can be President. Okay? This thing is not about forcing yourself. Leadership is a gift. Leadership is a gift. It's not about you forcing yourself to go and be the PM or whatever. It's not about that. Liz Truss ran for office. She could not even bring any changes that she promised. Okay? After just a month and a half as Prime Minister, just imagine. That is the least time that a president can, or a Prime Minister has ever been in Britain. 44 days, a month and a half. The majority of which was spent, all these 44 days was spent for her life, just to save her political life. Okay? It is so disastrous. Tell me, if you are the Prime Minister, you spend your half of your few days only trying to see if you are relevant. Okay? A disastrous series of self-inflicted wounds that she created for herself, which turned into a political death spiral. It began with a misfired attempt by the Conservative Party leader to radically reorient the government's economic agenda. That was what happened. She tried to reorient the government economic agenda by slashing taxes without saying how the decision will be paid for. Okay? It sent the markets reeling, and Truth never recovered since then. She went and slashed the taxes without saying how this decision will be paid for. By the end, Truth had grown so unpopular that her fellow party lawmakers were publicly contemplating plans to replace her. Okay? That is what happened to her. Let us walk you through what happened to her. Okay? Why Truth was so unpopular. Her policies were not good. How many officials were fired or quit under Truth? That's the same thing that happened to Iya Marianta. When your people, when your cabinet start resigning, know that there is a problem. Okay? Know that there is a problem. Okay? By the end of her tenure, according to some polls, Truth's net favorability stood at 70% at that time. Okay? But look at it very critically. Truth became Prime Minister on September 6 after being elected by members of the Conservative Party, okay, to replace Boris Johnson as their leader. Her first 2 weeks included the death of Queen Elizabeth II, and so most of these 2 weeks were just a little bit muted because it was about the mourning and all those. But on September 23rd, her finance minister, Kwasi Kwarteng, made a fatal misstep. Without any warning, he unveiled a significant shift in the country's economic strategy, promising to slash taxes for the highest earners and biggest corporations, with no plans for how to pay for it. When you have ministers that are disoriented and are not coordinated, what do you expect? There will be problems. So that made the UK Central Bank was forced to go in a hike. Okay, the cost of mortgages rose, and there was inflation. That is why in these few 2 months, American dollars has skyrocketed. I'm telling you, before the pounds was very powerful, more than the dollars. But these few these few weeks and months of this lady's leadership, everything has gone to a historical low. Okay, that is what happened. So that is why most of the cabinet members started resigning. Okay, the then secretary quit last month. Before this, most of our secretary, the secretary of finance, also resigned. Okay, it is the same thing that we saw in most of the other government in southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. Okay, why am I bringing this? Because when you listen to the debate in the British Parliament, it's so heated. Okay, so heated. Just take a listen a little bit. See how they are questioning her on the economic policy, but she cannot respond.
I think, Mr. Speaker, that is more of a record of action than the honourable gentleman in his 2.5 years in the job.
Mr. Speaker, last week the Prime Minister ignored every question put to her. Instead, she repeatedly criticised Labour's plan for a 6-month freeze on energy bills. This week, the Chancellor made it her policy. How can she be held to account when she's not in charge?
Well, Mr. Speaker, our policy is to protect the most vulnerable for 2 years. But I had to take the decision, because of the economic situation, to adjust our policies. I am somebody who's prepared to front up. I'm prepared to take the tough decisions. Unlike the honourable gentleman, who hasn't done anything on businesses, he's done nothing to say he'll protect people after 1 year. He's got no plan.
Mr. Speaker, last week the Prime Minister stood there and promised absolutely no spending reductions. They all cheered. This week, the Chancellor announced a new wave of cuts. What's the point of a Prime Minister whose promises don't even last a week?
So that's Liz Truss. That's how she ended, because of too much pressure from the members of government, pressure from numerous resignations from her cabinet. Okay, it's the same thing with Sako and Iya Marianta. When your cabinet start resigning, Sako could not solve one problem. Yes, and if you are the leader, one or two of your cabinet members complain about internal squabbles, and you don't take it serious, okay? You say you cannot solve this problem because you love this other cabinet member, or this cabinet member, you love this one and you don't like this one. There is a problem. You are not a leader. A leader is someone who can really solve problems. Because you are there because people want you to solve problems. You are not there because you are the president. You should just sit there. If anything goes, it goes. You are not there because of that. You are there to solve problems. So why should you not solve problems? That's a question you should ask yourself. Okay? It's so sad that we have people who are only there just to say they can do whatever they want. No. But I like what is going on, okay? This is Theresa May. She also resigned. I don't know why our people have not learned that resignation doesn't. Look at all these prime ministers. Tony Blair resigned. Boris Johnson resigned. Theresa May resigned. All these people resigned because they could not deliver. It's not because they were not, or that they have superpower. Okay? It's not only at the end of your term that you can resign. If you see that the leadership is not going well, please resign. In any organization that you are, in any group, in any government that you are, If you think that your government is not delivering what people want, why should you still hang there? Upon all what people are saying, you're still hanging there to power. Why should we criticize Paul Biya then? If you people are doing the same thing that Paul Biya is doing. Because we know in 1992, we know Frundi won the election. Frundi won election. You cannot say Frundi did not win when Frundi won. But because of the greed and political manipulation, they twisted that election verdict. Okay? But do we want to copy that kind of example? Or one example that, look at the prime minister that resigned from, that is it. All these people are people that resign. As prime ministers of Britain, they resign. It doesn't mean that they could not hang there too, just to hanging of power. Okay? But they resign for the love of the country. Sometimes you put your country first. Put your country first. Because you hanging there, you only causing problem to yourself and also causing problem to your country. This Liz Truss, this is her. She resigned 44 days. 44 days. Okay? So don't tell us that they hate somebody. Why are we criticizing this person? Well, this person is good. Okay? This person or whatever, all those things are not important. If you cannot deliver, you have to quit the office. It's not about somebody does not love you, the man love. These people can love them, it doesn't matter, but they are talking about policies. They're talking about delivering to the people. Okay? Delivering to the people. This is Boris Johnson. It's not about love. Liz Truss could have hung on there, but because of the pressure, look at the question and answer series that went on in the parliament. We're questioning her. Look at, even you are what, nobody cares whether you are what. That's your problem. If you cannot deliver, man, leave the office and go.
Can you explain to the public why you think you should remain as Prime Minister, given you jumped to key tax cuts that led you to be elected and got rid of your Chancellor?
I'm absolutely determined to see through what I've promised, to deliver a higher growth, more prosperous United Kingdom, to see us through the storm we face. We've already delivered the energy price guarantee, making sure people aren't facing huge bills this winter. But it was right, in the face of the issues that we had, that I acted decisively to ensure that we have economic stability, because that is vitally important to people and businesses right across our country. Questions? Can I start with Ben Riley-Smith, Telegraph?
Hammond has just said that you have totally trashed the Tory party's election-winning reputation for economic competence. Will you apologise to your party?
Well, I am determined to deliver on what I set out when I campaigned to be party leader. We need to have a high growth economy, but we have to recognise that we are facing very difficult issues as a country. And it was right, in the national interest, that I made the decisions I've made today to restore that economic stability so we can deliver, first of all, helping people through this winter and next winter with their energy bills, but also making sure that our country is on the long-term footing for sustainable economic growth. Thank you very much.
That's Liz. She was taking questions from the journalists. Okay, but it is not about anything, or somebody hates her, or she could deliver but they don't give her. Her conscience was telling her, I cannot do this, and that's what she said. She said it, that this thing is more than me. That she came in to change the economic system, but she has brought chaos. And the people of UK are very angry at her now because she has caused a lot of problem when it comes to banking, the banking system, the tax system. Okay, the currency now has devalued. There's inflation because of her, and now the American dollars is, for the first time, is more than the United Kingdom pounds. Yes. So that is what went wrong and leading to her resignation. Okay. So listen to this, our beautiful song. Thank you. So we're gonna talk about this why the Southern Cameroon crisis has been neglected. We know that we started this fight in 2016, but after 6 years, we have not had international voice. Okay, we are thankful to all those countries that are seeing that we have peaceful negotiation, peaceful settlement, but the struggle has not been as public as the others, right? That's why we are talking about the most neglected crisis in the world is Southern Cameroon conflict. But we are very grateful to Al Jazeera that has supported it. We saw DWI, this international media, BBC is reporting it down. Even of recent, this is CNN.
John, if you
CNN
are
talking about
from
it.
West Africa,
Okay,
from parts of
it's a good news. This is CNN talking about it. Okay, and we are very grateful because this is gone viral. It's going. We have international media like CNN talking about the crisis. All these medias now are talking about the crisis. That is good news. We are very grateful for that. Okay, let's listen. Let's take a listen and see what CNN is talking about. Okay.
From West Africa, from parts of Central Africa, of course, you likely do know about the Anglophone crisis in Cameroon. But this war does seem to get very little attention in the international media. It does seem to be relatively less well known than, say, what's happening in Tigray. Why is that?
Well, I think that it's been neglected, and that's been a real tragedy. And the reasons are pretty self-explanatory. This is a very complex crisis in a medium-sized country, and it's been simmering since 2016, 2017. And so most of the international media, not your program, of course, doesn't spend a lot of time on Africa. And so they're focused on Ethiopia or the Sahel or Nigeria. These are easier to convey to international communities what the stakes are. But Cameroon ends up getting short shrift. I would note that the international community, diplomats, the US Congress, Africans are engaged on this topic and on this crisis, but they're not having much effect.
So what can the regional community, obviously France and Cameroon have a good working relationship as well, what can the regional community actually do to create some kind of resolution, to work towards some kind of ceasefire?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of challenges, right? First of all, the government so far has only made very superficial concessions. It's really dragged its feet. And on the side of the Anglophones, well, it's very divided, very fragmented. You've got elements that are for peace, just the cessation of conflict. You've got elements that want a new federal or confederal arrangement. And then you've got the secessionists. And some of them can be very hardline, very violent, attacking civilians, attacking each other. And so this has been difficult because who do you negotiate? I think the international community, though, and we've seen the Swiss do this a little bit, can bring these sides together to set up some agreed upon standards and agreed upon benchmarks for moving towards peace. But we're going to have to see a more robust and higher level engagement if we want to move forward.
And from France's perspective, they're unlikely to put that much pressure on Cameroon at this point in time. Cameroon has been very useful to France in terms of fighting terrorism. It's been very useful in terms of welcoming refugees from the Central African Republic. So Paris, Emmanuel Macron, they're unlikely to rock the boat too much at this time.
Yeah, you nailed it, right? Cameroon's an incredibly important counterterrorism partner for French. It's also important for the Central African Republic. And President Paul Biya of Cameroon has this long relationship with Paris, going back decades. So they're unlikely to upset the apple cart. And finally, and we see this with Paris's relationship across the region, they don't want to do things in a public manner. They don't want to potentially embarrass their former colonies. So everything is quiet. Everything is sort of behind the scenes. And it's not to say they haven't condemned some of the human rights abuses or called.
Yeah. Thank you, because this is my comment on this. I know the international community has not been hearing about the crisis for the past 6 years. They have their own opinion, okay? He has said a lot of good stuff there, no doubt. But there are stuff that he said that are not correct or not really. They have to know that the leaders are not divided. The groups are not divided. They are just trying to follow their own way of approach. And it's the same thing. Even in America, Republican and Democrat don't see eye to eye. They don't see eye to eye. During election, the Republicans are going that way, the Democrats are going that way. Okay? But in a revolution like this one, it's quite obvious that you have people that try to be in the middle. You have people that are radicals. You have people that are little bit more of democratic. So you meet all those kind of people. And in a democratic society, it's very difficult for you to try to stop people's way of thinking. Okay? That's their way of approach. But when you say they are divided, then it's not a good term to phrase. Okay? They are divided in manners of approach, but very united to arrive Boya. That one, nobody can stop that. So no matter what happens between this frontline leader or this frontline group or this group or that group or the interim government and any other thing, that has nothing to do with the division that people are talking about. Okay, it's just the way that people are seeing it. It's very difficult for you to tell somebody like Ayaba, for example, to come and join the interim government. Very difficult. Or somebody like Dr. Akwanga to leave his group that he has formed to come and join the interim government. No one of them would do that. Okay, Ayuk Tabe tried to do that before. It did not work because they like their groups. Bo Herbert is there with Morix. Akwanga is there with SCLP. Ayaba is there with his egg of C. Okay, none of them want to ever come and be united with interim government. They don't want it. They have had their groups for the time being that they have been there, so they don't like to leave their groups and come and join that they want to join the interim government. No, so that's how they are. It's hard for you to change that mentality from them. That why don't you leave your group and come and join the interim government? No, but that's how we deal with them. Because we already understand that that's how they are. They prefer to be like that. But there is that collaboration. There is that working group that we work in some aspects. Even though not all aspects that we really work together, but there are certain aspects that we work together. So people should not say this people are divided, this people are... No. All those groups are for Boya. All those groups. Any group that is not for Boya is for La Republique. So we should know that. Okay? But why has this struggle been so neglected? That is a question we have to ask. Okay? That is why we are asking the international community to put their voice to this thing. I'm very happy we have CNN talking about it. We have heard all this international media start talking about it. We are very grateful for that. Before, we used to go and march, protest in front of the embassies, but now we are happy that we have done that. Before, we had protests, in front of different embassies, go protest in front, but now we have really worked so hard for that. Now the international community now have learned about, at least they know the history now of something. They don't more call people from Ambazonia terrorists. They know that they are fighting a just cause. The United States of all just passed the TPS with the Ukraine. So it's a good, very, very good move from the United States, because the TPS grants all Southern Cameroonians a paper to stay in America. Yes, till after the war is over. So anybody that does not understand the history, please try and read the history of Southern Cameroon so that you know why the people that had their independence in 1961, 1st of October, were denied independence by asking them to join either the French Cameroon or to join Nigeria. That is the only country in the world that had her independence by joining another country, Southern Cameroon. So people should learn the history so that they know why the people of Southern Cameroon don't want to stay with any other country again. Okay? They want to have their own country that was given to them, that was voted to them. 64 countries voted for the independence of Southern Cameroon. 64. And that is what they want to regain. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? That is what they are claiming, and they know that it belongs to them. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Okay? I leave you with this beautiful song. Let God Almighty bless Ambazonia, so that Ambazonians should have their independence. Okay? Thank you very much. God bless you. Jehovah mimima akaya aka Jehovah mimima Holy Buyo isi tatidema isi ukenu isi ya tata akaya aka Jehovah mimima